Hi, this is Beata from Splitcoaststampers. In this video I want to show you how to create a dimensional flower out of grunge paper. You can also use cardstock, but cardstock is a lot stiffer than grunge paper and it will make it harder to bend your petals. There are different ways to create those or to decorate the flower. Here I embossed the grunge paper first with an embossing folder and then stamped on it with black ink and stamps, and then sponged the petals. For my sample that I'm going to show you, I adhered dictionary paper onto the grunge paper before I cut the flowers. I already cut the flowers and sponged them with wild honey and fired brick, and I will show you a sample with the big flowers die. Here's a flower I created with a smaller petal flower. What you will always need, you can use punches or dies, but you will need a 6-petal flower. What you do first is take the first flower and just cut into the center of the flower between one pair of petals. Take your next flower and cut one petal off. This. And then you'll cut 2 petals off from the last flower. You will need the single and the double petal later. Let's start with the flower that has all the petals and it's just cut. Take your petal ends and roll them between your 2 fingers. That will bend your grunge paper back and give the flower shape later. I already pre-did them, all my petals, so it will be easier and faster. Then you add adhesive over the petal that is on the right side next to your cut, and you fold the petal on the left to the cut over the right petal, and then use a paper clip to hold this in place till it dries. And you have your first 5-petal flower cone, which will be the base. Next you take the flower that only has 1 petal missing. Again, roll all the edges, I already did that, of the petals. Add adhesive to the flower petal on the right and fold the left one over. Press together and then use a paper clip to hold it in place. And the same with the 4-petal flower. Adhesive, and this will be the hardest one to fold over. When you try this for the first time, it's always easier if you start with a bigger flower. The little ones look more delicate at the end, but for the first time I would suggest use a bigger flower to practice. You fold this together. Now you take your piece where you only have 2 leaves, 2 petals, and roll the right petal back just like you did with the others. And now add some adhesive and take your left petal and start rolling it up like an ice cream cone. And this will be your flower center. And for that you can either use another paper clip, but I only have 3, or you can strap some wire around it to hold it in place. Now let it set these pieces aside for about 5 minutes to make sure they're dry. Once you are sure that your flower petals are dry, the glue is dry, take off the paper clips, take your scissor and fold your paper cones in half and cut a hole in the bottom of each of the cones. Now take the wire back off your 2-petal cone, take a paper piercing tool and punch a hole through the center, slide a wire in there. This wire will help you connect your flower to your project later on. Just make it real big so your wire can go through. Center the wire and fold it in half. Next, take your 3-petal cone, add some glue in the inside, in the center, and slide your 2-petal piece through. So we'll get your flowers started. You can bend the petals back as you go or at the end, it's up to you. And we do the same with the 4-petal piece. Add adhesive on the bottom there and slide your flower pieces through, and you will see the end of the piece is sticking out a little bit. We will cut that off at the end. Just one more, and there I got really close. Not quite centered here, but I will work to show you. Just cover that up with this big flower piece. Okay, so now we have the way we want. We turn it over. You can let it dry like that too. And bend over the wire and cut this tip off. This will help make the flower sit on your project better later on. Now we still have the 1-petal piece, and you can bend the petal edge over as well again, and then cut part of the tip off. Will be too long otherwise. Now you can fold it, kind of roll it like an ice cream cone again, and add this as your last flower petal. And just add a little glue on the bottom or in the center where you know you want to put it. And your flower is done. Now let those sit a little bit till they're dry, and I'll just show you how to attach it with the small flower I showed you earlier. Just take the cardstock or the piece that you want to attach it to, and you know where you want it. You just add 2 little holes for your wire, slide those wires through, and then just fold them over back here and then tape them shut. Tape that wire on and your flower is attached. I hope you have fun with these flowers. I sure do. See you next time.